So there's a real window going in here and then fake windows at the back. This is cutting big chunks out of the van, so that's new, rather than the small chunks. What I've done is I've used the angle grinder just to cut at the top, this little bar here where you have the two separate windows when I suppose it's when it's a bus, I guess. So I've just ground out that bit there and this bit here. And I've marked around the shape of the window, and I'm drilling out these holes here. I'm drilling them out so that I can see the shape and cut the shape out from the other side, because I want to take that whole panel out, and that's where the window will go. Because effectively this is the template that I want handily already marked for me. So I'll go around to the outside of the van once I've made all these holes. I'll join them all up, and then I'll take a I could grind it, or I could use a jigsaw. There are other tools you can use as well, but I think I'll probably use a jigsaw and a fine blade and take my time. You can probably see my breath, but we have a window on the van. It's not just held up with gaffer tape, it's actually glued on, and it appears to be in the right place, and it went on fine. I had a bit of help from a neighbour actually getting it up there. I couldn't record much because, as you can see, it's pitch dark now. The dew's all over everything, so everything's getting cold and wet. So I really just had to rush to get it done, and this has taken all day to do this, you know, to cut it, to get the to get it all neat and tidy, and I had quite a few issues, but it's all done. What I'll do is I'll do a little bit more video on when I do the back part of the window, because sticking it on is the same for both of them. But anyway, that's one window on. So it's a very wet, windy day. There's showers, so this is getting really quite tricky, but this is the rear quarter window, and I've given it a bit of a clean. Doesn't look like it, but I have given it a bit of a clean. Just gave it a spray with some degreaser. So this is the front edge, which is going to sit between the front panel and back panel, and bearing in mind that the van is white, I don't really want that white showing through between the front and the back of the van. So I have this strip of trim here, we should just stick on there, onto there like that, and that should hide. Make sure it's really good and clean on the bottom, because going to stick. It'll be very difficult to fit this afterwards. So. Just clip these off. I really need some bigger clippers, but these will do. It would be neater with bigger ones. Quickly changed my top because I didn't want to get primer on this on that jacket. Put some gloves on. And kind of stupidly, when I was doing the first window, I put this down without the lid on, and I spilt most of the primer all over the ground. I do have some left, so I'm hoping I've got enough to do this job now. It's super runny.
And presently, And presently spotted a tall, slender tower with a number of turrets jutting from it.
I've already degreased this and given it a good clean, so I'm just going to go over it with the alcohol as well now. More of the primer, and do the same thing here as I did on the back of the window. Obviously it will very likely drip down, hence the polythene sheet, and I've still got this masking tape. Somehow it's still stuck there, I think more through friction in the water than the masking tape, which is completely sodden now. But you know, it's there, it's still protecting the paintwork from me dropping stuff, so I'm not going to mess with it. I'm just going to leave it there and carry on. So the reason I've left a gap here is just to let the space behind the window breathe, you know, so that as temperature changes and the air expands and contracts, it's not a problem, doesn't sort of blow out the window. Just lets it breathe and any condensation escape as well. I mean, you can't see that, so. Okay, so got the adhesive. So this is the same stuff that's gone under there, and the trick, is I'm told, is to try and get it to the same height as that, so that the windows are flush with each other. As that was a bit of a nightmare, I couldn't really see what I was doing. It was dark, it was wet, and everything was going wrong. I don't know how practical that's going to be. Primer's dries quite quickly, it seems, but well, here we go. This is like a video of how not to do something, by the way, rather than how to do something. This is not my top skill.
Lord, oh God, I've seen the sign, the sign, the sign, the sign, the sign, the sign, the sign.
So my helper's not available till 4, but I can't leave this on that long. So if this was the front, I'd have to go and find somebody else. Or plan a bit better. But oh, I'm not recording, am I? Am I recording? Oh, I am recording. Okay, I'm recording. This is the back one. Provided it doesn't feel too heavy, I think it might be possible to do on my own if I'm very, very careful. I think. And there we go. That's pretty much it on there and done. I hope it's in the right place. It looks in the right place. The green tape sort of puts you off a little bit. I mean, it brings out any slight misalignment on the front, like tiny little misalignments on the front. Obviously the line comes all the way through, and then, you know, at the end there's no way around that. So, but I think it'll do. I'm sorry, I couldn't video all of this because, again, I was really fighting against the weather and the night. So I've had hail even today. I suppose December is not the best time to be doing this sort of stuff outside. I'm quite jealous of all those people with nice, huge indoor garages where they work in. But I've got my little tent set up here, a little lean-to, but as you can see, I've managed to get the windows on the right hand side of the van now, so that's both windows in, both fake windows on, and I think they're fairly well lined up, and I'm hoping they're going to stay on. Had a bit of a rain shower, maybe got a bit of the primer on this side wet. I don't know how much that matters. I'm hoping that this is all going to stay on. I've got them lined up as best I can. Tons of masking tape, but it looks all right. So that should be now both sides of the van all done up. So hopefully now I don't have many more things that are going to involve making holes in the shell of the van, which is good. I've just really got to do somewhere for the all the antenna. I'll get to that in another video, and I need to put in a hole to get the cables for the solar panels, but that should be pretty small and easy to seal. So yeah, making progress. Probably these windows were quite stressful to do. I think that's probably because you're really conscious of not wanting to mess it up, and some things you think are going to be easy turn out to be really hard, and some bits you think are going to be really hard turn out to be very easy. And with the time pressures of doing it in a short winter's day, in amongst showers, yeah, it was pretty stressful. But as long as the windows don't fall out when I'm driving down the road, then it looks like that job's done. So that's a relief. So this is what the windows look like from the inside. I've got some black trim. I didn't show you me putting that trim on, but it was pretty straightforward. You've got the inside and the outside of the metal shell there, and it just slips over the top and goes all the way around. So just hammer that in really lightly, press it down firmly, and once it's in, it's stuck there pretty well on both sides. It was quite tricky getting the sill really level. A lot of filing, which again I didn't really show you because it's not that interesting. But the end result was pretty good. Ultimately, this will sort of get built out a bit as I insulate and sort of build up the inside of the van, and the decor and the finish and all that kind of thing. But even as it is right now, it doesn't look too bad.